What if I told you? Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because their life isn't designed to support consistency. Think about it. How many goals have you started strong, only to slowly disappear from? Not because you didn't care, but because life got busy, motivation dipped, or you missed a few days and thought, what's the point now? This video isn't about trying harder. It's about designing a system that keeps you moving even when motivation disappears. Today, I'm going to share a 3-part system that creates consistency when motivation dies. And by the end of this, you'll understand why consistency isn't something you force, it's something you engineer. Let's start. Chapter 1, the design trap. Here's a truth most people never hear. Goals don't fail because of bad discipline. They fail because of bad design. When people quit, they automatically assume something is wrong with them. They label themselves as lazy, inconsistent, or lacking willpower. But most of the time, the problem was never the person. It was the system they were trying to follow. A fragile system breaks the moment life becomes unpredictable, and life is always unpredictable. Most people build their efforts around outcomes. Lose weight, build muscle, start a business, learn a new skill. Outcomes feel exciting because they promise transformation, but they're also unstable because results take time. Weeks pass, sometimes months, and during that waiting period, real life doesn't slow down. Stress shows up, energy drops, motivation fades. When results don't appear quickly, the system begins to feel pointless. This is where the most dangerous trap forms, all or nothing thinking. You tell yourself you must do everything perfectly or it doesn't count. Then one day, you miss a workout, or you skip studying, or you fall off your routine. That single missed day suddenly feels like failure, and failure creates guilt. Guilt drains motivation. Motivation disappears, and quitting starts to feel logical. Not because you can't continue, but because the system gave you no way back and once you slipped. Strong systems work differently. They don't punish missed days. They expect them. They're designed with flexibility, not perfection. A powerful system turns inconsistency into information. Instead of saying, "I failed," it asks, "What made this harder than expected?" That shift changes everything. Missed days become feedback, not identity. Progress doesn't come from forcing discipline every day. It comes from designing systems that survive bad days, low energy, and imperfect weeks. When your system allows recovery instead of collapse, momentum stays alive. And when momentum stays alive, long-term success becomes inevitable. Chapter 2, the 3-part system. Consistency isn't about intensity. It's about resilience. And resilient habits are built with systems, not motivation. Let's break down the 3-part system that makes consistency inevitable. Part 1, the non-zero day protocol. Every habit you want to build needs 2 versions, not 1. Most people only design the ideal version, the perfect workout, the deep focus session, the flawless routine where everything goes according to plan. This is version 1.0. It looks impressive, feels productive, and works great on high-energy days. But life isn't built around perfect conditions, and that's where most habits collapse. What almost no one creates is version 0.1. This is the bare minimum version of the habit, something so small it feels almost too easy to matter. 1 push-up, 1 sentence written, 1 minute of movement, 5 minutes of focus. Version 0.1 exists for bad days, busy days, and low motivation days. And those days happen far more often than people admit. Here's the crucial mindset shift. Version 0.1 is not failure. It's a strategic win. The purpose isn't to maximize performance every day. The purpose is to protect consistency. Because the real enemy of progress isn't doing less, it's doing nothing. 0 is what breaks momentum. 0 is what turns one bad day into quitting. When you do something, no matter how small, you reinforce identity. You remain the type of person who shows up. You don't break the chain. You don't let guilt take over. Momentum stays alive, even if it's moving slowly. Progress doesn't come from perfection or intensity. It comes from continuity, from refusing to let a day disappear completely. The non-zero day protocol isn't about pushing harder. It's about never going to 0. And when 0 disappears, long-term growth becomes unavoidable. Part 2, the frictionless starting protocol. Most habits don't fail because they're difficult to maintain. They fail because they're difficult to start. Starting carries the highest resistance. what scientists call activation energy. But most people ignore this entirely. They assume success comes from forcing discipline, when in reality, discipline is rarely the problem. Friction is. Instead of trying to push yourself harder, you redesign the slope. This is the core of the frictionless starting protocol. Behavior naturally follows the path of least resistance. When starting feels heavy, your brain delays. When starting feels easy, action happens almost automatically. This is where the slope method comes in. For good habits, you grease the slope. Make the habit easy to begin, not impressive to perform. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Keep healthy food visible and within reach. Open the document before you need to write. Remove the tiny obstacles that create hesitation. When the first step is obvious and accessible, the habit pulls you forward instead of requiring force. For bad habits, you do the opposite. You add rocks to the slope. Make them inconvenient. Log out of distracting apps. Keep junk food out of the house. Put friction between you and the behavior you're trying to reduce. The goal isn't self-control, it's inconvenience. Even small barriers dramatically reduce repetition. Environment beats willpower every time. When the right action becomes the default option, consistency stops feeling like a battle. You don't rely on motivation. You rely on design. And once starting becomes effortless, showing up becomes inevitable. Part 3. The weekly recalibration protocol. Here's something most people misunderstand about consistency. It does not mean equal effort every week. Life doesn't operate on a flat line. It moves in seasons. Some weeks are calm, structured, and predictable. Other weeks are chaotic, draining, and full of unexpected problems. When people expect the same output during both, they burn out or quit. The weekly recalibration protocol solves this by separating effort into 2 intentional modes. The first is growth mode. This is for weeks when life feels stable. Energy is available. Time is manageable. In growth mode, you push forward. You build aggressively. You use version 1.0 of your habits. The full workout, the deep focus session, the complete routine. This is where progress accelerates. The second is survival mode. This activates when life gets messy, stress increases, schedules break, motivation drops. In survival mode, the goal is not growth, it's protection. You protect the streak using version 0.1. You do the bare minimum on purpose. One small action, one short session, just enough to avoid going to zero. And this is the mindset shift that changes everything. Survival mode is not losing. It's winning intelligently. It keeps identity intact. It prevents guilt from building. It stops one hard week from turning into quitting entirely. The key is deciding the mode before the week starts. No emotional decisions. No self-judgment. Just strategy. When effort adapts to reality, habits stop breaking. That's how systems survive for 12 months, not 12 days. Chapter 3. Tools and Automation. You can build this system manually, but tools remove friction, and friction is the enemy of consistency. The goal isn't to rely on motivation or memory. It's to make progress visible, automatic, and hard to ignore. When the system supports you, showing up stops feeling like a struggle. This framework uses 3 simple tools to shift your focus from planning to execution. The first is a never go to zero tracker. Its job is simple. Make daily consistency visible. When you can see proof that you showed up, even in small ways, you protect momentum. One small action recorded is enough to keep the streak alive and your identity intact. The second tool is a command center workbook. This is where clarity replaces confusion. You define version 1.0 and version 0.1 for each habit, removing guesswork on low-energy days. The workbook also helps you audit habits weekly, so you adjust systems instead of blaming yourself. Strategy replaces self-criticism. The third tool is a complete guide that explains the entire system step by step. No scattered advice, no random tactics, just a clear framework you can follow, adapt, and sustain over time. When the process is clear, action becomes easier. Together, these tools eliminate friction, reduce decision fatigue, and protect consistency. Planning takes a back seat. Execution takes the lead. And when execution becomes the focus, real change stops being theoretical and starts becoming inevitable. You don't need more motivation. You need a system that works when motivation dies. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about staying in the game. Design beats discipline every time. And once your habits are engineered correctly, progress stops feeling hard and starts feeling inevitable.